Hello guys and welcome to my channel. We all know women are magnificent, stunning individuals that are full of delight. They have the power to greatly enhance a man's happiness. Their seductive feminine energy can aid men in balancing the discipline and adversity of daily life. However, there is also a terrible, evil side to women. Back then, when customs and social standards were established, society was more ordered and in harmony with nature, and this was handled more effectively. However, all of this has now been gone, and it appears that things will become far worse before and if they ever improve. Equip yourself with the knowledge required to survive in the world. Feel the bitterness of the red pill as you swallow it. You will experience sorrow and suffering, but eventually it is what will set you free. It's preferable than living a lie. You will rise from the ground of darkness as a different and better player once your roots have gone far enough. A player who has the strength to play the game effectively. The ultimate seducer is one who understands and embraces the dark and twisted side of female nature and today's sexual marketplace. He also understands and celebrates the lighter and more beautiful aspects of female nature. His art lies in balancing these two extremes, making him capable of effectively navigating the modern sexual terrain in a way that serves his deepest purpose, said Maximilian Jamarco. Without further ado, let's expose women. This is the dark side of the female mind. Number 1. Women are hypergamous. Men are categorized differently by women. 20% of men are alphas, while 80% of men are betas. Many women spend their time chasing and having affairs with alphas. They then search for a sucker to settle down with as they become older and are less able to compete with younger girls. At that time, they typically pick a beta man who is ready to take care of them but lacking in sex. They ultimately decide to wed the man while secretly thinking about the men she dated and slept with when she was younger. As she continues to interact with the beta man, she assures herself that she's had her fun. The beta guy is aware that she isn't entirely submitting to him, but he accepts it nevertheless since he believes it to be the best he can do. Poor guy. Number 2. Women's egos are out of whack. Online dating and social networking have completely inflated their egos. But there is a purpose behind this. It is not only a fantasy. Women now essentially have an excess of choices at their fingertips thanks to the availability of willing men. Of course, the frequent dopamine-induced affirmation individuals receive while checking their phones or messages causes their egos to be enormously inflated. When you add it to feminism, rom-coms, and a sense of entitlement, you end up with an ego that no guy will ever be able to fulfill. Number 3. The sexual marketplace is unfair. Get rid of what you believe to be true about women in the sexual marketplace because of Disney. The sexual market is unjust, and women may be brutal in who they choose for intimate experiences and more committed partnerships. You will be disregarded if you don't fit her requirements. Even if you do match her requirements, you will always be put to the test. She will be highly unpredictable and challenging to please because of her ego in excess of other options. You're in trouble when you combine it with the victim mentality that many women are encouraged to adopt in today's Me Too society. To have a chance at building a killer sex, love life, you must master the ins and outs of the sexual market. If you don't, you'll pay the price just like the millions of other guys who don't know these things already have and will in the future. Now let's move on to the darker shades of the female mind. Number 4. No one will believe men. Families exist where women mistreat, threaten, and extort others. An abused guy finds it challenging to ask for assistance since the embarrassment may be worse than the assault. Perhaps I deserve it. Perhaps she'll change. Or otherwise, she'll claim that I beat her. Since the police will believe her and not me, I will never see my kids again. It's difficult to picture what would happen if a grown guy went to the police station and reported that his wife had been beating him. When the police ask humiliating questions, a scenario known as secondary victimization takes place. They could mockingly grin or imply that the victim is a sissy and needs to man up. It's not always the result of physical abuse. Psychological abuse can be done by women too. For instance, they could prevent the partner from seeing his friends and family, constantly monitor his phone, or pay him an unannounced visit at work. The women could simultaneously adopt the victim persona. If this occurs, it will be very challenging for a male to justify punishing the woman, even if he ultimately decides to confront her or stop the abuse. Pedophiles can also be women. They have more opportunities and spend more time with kids. They may abuse the children they have as well as the children they care for, and no one would give a woman who committed pedophilia a second thought. Could a decent young girl or a kind elderly woman commit such a horrible act? Oh no, that can't be. Number 5. Blurred line between perpetrator and victim. Sometimes the distinction between the perpetrator and the victim is unclear. Who is difficult to identify. Both the criminal and the victim are necessary for the crime to be committed. Sometimes they switch places or assume both positions. Usually, one individual excels at portraying one of the roles better than the other, especially in inspiring others to feel empathy. Female murderers do exist. Self-defense is just one of many possible justifications. Others include cold calculation. A new lover, an inheritance, and the desire to start a new life with him are a few possible motivations. In such circumstances, the new lover may turn into an accomplice. A lady who is deeply in love but has been betrayed by her partner is capable of murder. Her love is toxic. Number 6. Demonstrative autoaggression. Each year, hundreds of individuals kill themselves. But the so-called demonstrative suicides are attempted by women more frequently than by males. They express a desire to end their own lives and act in ways that do not cause death, like ingesting pills or inflicting hesitation wounds. Their behavior is a scream for attention because these women do not truly want to die. Number 7. Inherently good. First off, women use physical force in crimes much less frequently than males do, but when they do, they are frequently more vicious. Due to the fact that psychological abuse frequently goes unreported, regardless of the genders of the offender and victim, there is a lack of data on this topic. Second, when women commit crimes, particularly those that defy the image of the weaker and fairer sex, they face harsher punishment than males do for the identical actions. Women are less likely to conduct high-profile serial crimes than males. It can be due to the fact that their methods of operation differ. It has happened that so-called black widows have killed their spouses in order to get money, or that angels of death, such as nurses or caregivers, have killed patients while they are in their charge. They have the power to both save and kill lives. Furthermore, fraud and other property crimes are sometimes committed by women. Since they are seen as kind and decent, it is simpler for them to con people. Many explanations have been proposed to explain why women are less likely to get caught after doing crimes than men. Maybe they are good by nature. Maybe they are crafty and manage to escape capture. Maybe the courts don't imprison women as punishment. Perhaps guys who become victims of crimes perpetrated by women refrain from reporting the incidents. Most likely, each of these factors contributes to this. Life repeatedly demonstrates that we frequently are unaware of the true motivations and conditions that are significant in a particular situation. As a result, we frequently are unable to make an accurate assessment of the situation and are unsure of how to assist the victims, the innocent men. And that's it for this video. If you learned anything from it, be sure to give this a like and subscribe to our channel down below. Share the video to all men you know and tap on the bell icon so you get to see our every video. Leave a comment if you have ever experienced any of the things discussed in the video in the section down below. And I will catch you guys in the next videos.